Go ahead and call the meeting to order.
This meeting is being recorded.
I have Steve Tatum in the office with me on any questions on the bids. Jen, if I could have you call roll.
Magistrate Humphrey,
Present.
Magistrate Coldiron,
Present.
Magistrate Riley,
Present.
Judge Chuck Dills.
Present. Moving down to item 3, approval of the regular meeting minutes of April 5th, 2022.
Having
I'll make
read
a
the
motion
minutes,
to approve. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from April 5th, 2022 as written.
I will second.
I have a motion made by Magistrate Humphrey, a second by Magistrate Coldiron. All in favor by saying aye.
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 It appears all is in favor. Motion carries. Moving down to fiscal matters, approval of the claims on the general fund, the road fund, jail fund, along with all transfers presented dated April 19th, 2022. Peggy had just sent out all new information. I had talked to each one of you on the phone just to update you what she had done. She had met with Brian Skinner, who's helping oversee on the ARPA funds. And being that we were using ARPA funds anyway for the repayment of roads, he directed her on the best route to go. So she went ahead and instead of drawing those funds out of our general fund, she's drawing those funds out of the ARPA fund. So basically the claim's staying the same. It's just the revenue is coming from ARPA instead of the general fund.
Yes, I think that made the claims per each fund look a whole lot better.
Yes.
I was
So,
getting,
and that was cleaner to go ahead and do it that way instead of doing the transfer like we were going to do on the back end. So I'm glad he had stopped by this afternoon to work on the report for April 30th so that we could go ahead and do it the correct way and easiest way.
okay, having reviewed all the claims on the general fund, road fund, jail fund, and the ARPA funds and the transfers as presented, I'm making a motion we approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion made by Magistrate Coldiron, a second by Magistrate Humphrey. All in favor by saying aye, raise your hand.
Aye.
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 It appears all in favor, motion carries. Claims are approved. Moving down to item B, and before I do this resolution, just a little bit of back information on it. We receive, and the county attorney also receives, as the court receives, a suggestion by Frankfurt on what you pay your county attorneys. So Stephen Bates had spoke to me actually 2 years ago, reference the funds that are paid into the county attorney's office, the operating of his office. Well, I started doing some research on it along with some other counties because I think they were discovering the same thing. The guidelines for his payment is based between $20,000 and $70,000 in that area. So I go back 20 years on what we paid toward the portion, or what the county's paid towards a portion of the county attorney's services that he renders to the court, which, as you all know, I work with Stephen daily, and, you know, between ordinances and resolutions and any legal matters, anything doing with contracts, bids, Stephen's been a part of it. And he's currently, 20 years ago, it has went up from about 20,000, 19 to 20,000 to where we're at today, 27,000. So I'm asking the court to meet halfway in the middle at $46,043 based off of, and that's still low for attorney fees for the whole year. But I'd like to adjust that to current times. And I'm really surprised over the years, past years, that wasn't changed a little bit more often, or we wouldn't even have that gap.
I totally agree. I think it's been antiquated way too long. We've been working on so many things, trying to bring them up to standards where they should have been for many years ago. And I think this is a positive step to do that as well.
Okay. If anybody else has any questions or concerns, if not, I'll go ahead and read the resolution. Resolution 2022-02 relating to the Grant County Fiscal Court setting the salary of the county attorney for the new term of office commencing on January 2nd, 2023, which, as I've read, that doesn't start until the next year when we retake office. And also, we had to do this by May, this resolution, for us to fix it this time. So I need a motion on the resolution.
Judge, I just wanted to acknowledge also Roger's viewpoint, and also say from the accessibility and from the research and being available to us as magistrates as we try to navigate like our county ordinances, frankly, even enforcing county ordinances that have existed, where we are now seeing, I think, partnership to address issues. I just wanted to acknowledge that I've been very thankful and pleased with the services and the communication that Stephen's been able to provide us in this current term. And I'm happy to make a motion for the resolution as you've presented this evening.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion made by Magistrate Riley, a second by Magistrate Humphrey. All in favor, saying aye, raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Appears all in favor, motion passes. Moving down to item C, present for a motion to approve the recommendations of the bid committee on materials and supplies for the Grant County Road Department as advertised for the fiscal year 2022-2023. The bid committee met yesterday, 4 p.m. Present was myself, Magistrate Codarn, Stephen Bates, Steve Tatum, Mike Webster, and also one of the bidders, owner Kim Crupper of Crupper Transport, was present during the opening of all bids. You all have in front of you, that's been emailed to you, a list of all the bids. And the breakdowns would be for the stone. And what I'll do is we'll do a motion approving it, and then we'll have a separate motion for the salt. Now, looking at the spreadsheet all of you have in front of you, Kim Crupper, his figures include the transport of the materials from location to the road department. Our other bid that we received is from Nally and Gibson, and they are only for the materials to be picked up at their location. And it ranges anywhere. It was about $5 to $7, but I've learned with the fuel cost on why our bids even went up a little bit from last year, or about 15 to 20%, is that it's more like $7.45. So even with that, Kim Crupper has completely beat Nally and Gibson on the bids for all the materials for stone, sand, and so on. So I need our recommendation, and Shauna, you're here discussing it, and I have Steve Tatum with us. Our recommendations on it is awarding that to Kim Crupper Transport.
I make a
Anybody
motion.
have any questions for Steve on that?
No, and Mr. Crupper is so readily available, when we need him to deliver stuff. I mean, you get it within 24 hours, and that's what he stated, his delivery time would be. It was pretty much unspecified under the other, so. I make a motion,
Go ahead, Shauna.
the stone, give the stone bid to Kim Crupper Transport.
I will second.
I have a motion made by Magistrate Codar, a second by Magistrate Riley. All in favor by raise your hand.
Aye.
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 It appears all in favor. Jenna, if you don't mind, we're going to do columns off of the bids. So all stone bids go to Kim Crupper Transport. We'll note that in a minute. Then our next item will be going to, we didn't receive any bids on our fuel, and we didn't receive any bids last year on our advertisement for fuel, but my suggestion, along with, I believe, Magistrate Codar on the committee and Steve Tatum, is that we continue to do like we've done in the past when we did receive bids, is that we'll call daily for pricing, and that's the way we bid it in the past, especially with now with fuel costs going up. Hopefully we'll start coming down a little bit, but we would call anytime we would need to buy bulk fuel. We would contact the vendors that we have a list of in the area to get that daily price.
We had, when I was at the marina dealing with boat fuel, excuse me, suffering allergies. The vendors, we had contacted the vendors and they put our fax and emails on file, and they would send out a mass fax or mass email every morning as to what the fuel prices were for that day. It made it real simple for them and simple for us as well. And the fluctuation in prices was just, it kind of amazed you.
I didn't actually probably add to that. They do that here.
Okay.
Jen has
Okay.
noticed that, yeah, they actually, back when Pat was here, they sent it to her on I think a daily basis. We get it often.
Yeah,
Of the
that's the way they
call.
did us. It was every day they sent it, and it would vary every day.
Yes. So they do send us that information. I don't know why they don't go on and send in an official bid on that same topic, but that's the way that it's been done. I know last year we didn't receive any bids either. So, Jenna, if you don't mind, for the minutes, we'll continue getting daily prices before we buy bulk fuel from the vendors in the area. So if you don't mind, let me go on and do a motion for that and that would be the motion that we would check daily or receive that information from the vendors daily on what the bulk fuel price is.
I'll make a motion that we continue to do as we have been doing. That is looking at the vendors' daily pricing and choose from there as needed.
I will second.
Okay, I have a motion made by Magistrate Humphrey, a second by Magistrate Codar. All in favor by show of hands?
Aye.
Aye.
That was Jacqueline who seconded that.
Oh, I'm
Correct.
sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, Magistrate Riley second.
Yes.
Okay, moving down to asphalt mix. Our only vendors was Wrigglers on the asphalt mix. Because of the fuel price, that's actually went up somewhat from last year. They're the ones that actually won the bid last year. And with them being the only bidder, it looks like that my suggestion is we award that bid to them too, because I don't think the bids are different from any other vendor. They all went up.
I'll make a
So I need
motion
a-
to accept the bid from Regular Asphalt as presented.
I second.
I have a motion made by Magistrate Humphrey, a second by Magistrate Codar. All in favor by show of hands and aye.
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 Appears all in favor. The asphalt hot mix base by the ton, asphalt hot mix surface by the ton has been awarded to Wrigler. Okay. Now going down to salt. We had 3 bids that come in on the salt. We have 101.23 from Cargill, 101.67 from Morton, and Kim Crupper's is 116.85. Kim was at our meeting, and I spoke to Kim and also Steve Tatum did. The salt, he's having troubles getting them to commit to exactly the amount. So he's done worst case scenario on the salt based off of fuel cost of surcharges and also the barge fees that's being charged to the salt yards that's passed on to the customer. And he's basically, and Shauna was in the meeting when he discussed this, that is worst case scenario, that, and he's done this in the past, as prices fluctuate down, he will reduce those costs as we go down. The only thing with the vendors, and I'm not familiar since I've been in office here, I know that Steve Tatum's been around, is, looking at this on a point scale like you do on any bids, you're looking at service, location. And I just want to say that, Kim Crupper's provided a great service for us. And he's timely. When we need salt, we get it right away. I know the other vendors have a window of 1 to 5 days to receive it. The other thing that is important to me is that he's a local taxpayer and that he has his business right here locally where we can get the materials. Does anyone have any discussion on it? I think, Steve, is your recommendation with Kim? Road supervisors recommending us continue with Kim Crupper, hoping the fuel cost goes down a little so that we can get some relief off of the price of salt.
I'll make a motion that we award the salt bid to Kim Crupper as presented to us.
I will second.
I have a motion made by Magistrate Humphrey, a second by Magistrate Riley. All in favor by saying aye, raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
It appears all in favor, motion carries. That will award the salt bid to Kim Crupper based off of those reasoning. Okay, moving down to item D. Present for a motion to approve recommendations of the bid committee of security cameras for the Grant County Detention Center as advertised for fiscal year 2022-2023. We put this out for bid, if you remember. It's been probably about 3 months ago, and we received the bids in. They were extremely high. So we actually put it back out for rebid, reached out to some other vendors to bid on it to get some pricing. Our best price on the bids is from a local at $116,058 for replacement of cameras. He also put together in that bid in a total of 5 phases to do it with that total amount of $116,000. Talking to the jailer, his intent as far as the payment of this, as he does it in phases, is that they would pay for that out of the canteen fund. It's allowable expense from the canteen fund, so it won't be coming out of actually the jail fund. So I'm asking, out of the 4 bids we received on the rebid process, the highest bid being $264,000, the next one $196,000, $132,000, and then Live View coming in at $116,000. And Live View has done work for us at the courthouse and at the parks. So we know his work and his service. So
Well,
I'm
anytime
asking,
we've had any issues, he's responded immediately as well.
yes.
Yep. Yep.
So
Very accessible.
So
I'll make a
I'm
motion we award the bid to Live View as presented to us for the jail security cameras.
I second.
I will go ahead, Shauna.
okay. I have a motion made by Magistrate Humphrey, a second by Magistrate Codar. All in favor by saying aye, raise your hands.
Aye.
Aye.
It appears all in favor, motion carries. And the security camera bid has been awarded to Live View. Okay, moving down to old business. We don't have any to report on. I don't believe we have any new business at this meeting to report on. We're moving down to reports. The only thing I have to report on is that, we'll be working on budgets over the next month, getting that all in together and communicating on it. And then also they're continuing to get the roads paved. So Steve, do you know where our next roads that they're getting ready to?
The next ones they're going to do will be Denny, Scaffold, Crooked Creek, and Needmore, Cordova. That's circle right there.
Did everybody copy that?
Copied that.
Okay, so the roads that we've got done so far is looking great.
Yes,
And I don't know if you all noticed, the park got striped end of last week. So if you haven't been through the Grant County Park, stop by and look at the striping. It made a big difference and they put in arrows for direction on the one ways. And they've got now all lined parking spots. So Carrie's doing an excellent job at the park of maintaining it and getting a lot of compliments from the public on the park. Magistrate Humphrey, anything to report on?
Just on the park, again, I'm receiving the same thing. You know, people are just commenting on the park, how great it looks. It's been decades since this place has looked like it has now. And the work that's been done there by Carrie and the volunteers and the different groups has just been phenomenal. People are proud of the park again. And I'm always checking the camera system and seeing the activity in the park has been very heaviest I've seen it in many years. I go through the park as often as I can as well. And again, the park is really getting used well, and something to be very proud of. The citizens that own this park, something for them to be proud of. The disc golf is constantly being used very heavy. So I'm real pleased to see it being used in outdoor activities for the young people.
Okay, Magistrate Kodar.
I don't have anything this evening.
Okay. Magistrate Riley.
Nothing specific, just wanted to echo Roger's comments about the park. As a parent of two littles, now actively involved in Little League, I will attest the striping is very well welcomed to help from the parking standpoint. But it is pretty awesome to see the upgrades and the maintenance of the park. And then just want to thank Mr. Tatum there that's with you in the office. They have been hustling, at least in my district, as far as culvert replacements that have been needed. And then, supporting the crew that's working on the repavement project. So just want to echo the various kudos to them on the job that they've done. I know that they had some significant cleanups to do after the heavy winds last week. With some trees and stuff of that nature. And then as Mr. Bates can attest, we continue to have various county ordinance issues that we're following up on as far as private properties and issues that we're working to address.
Okay, thank you. Moving down to item 8. Anyone from the audience on Zoom want to address the court on anything? Not seeing anyone needing to address the court tonight. So we'll move on down to item 9. I just want to remind everyone our next meeting will be Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022, 6:30 p.m. and it'll be present here at the courthouse. With that being said, I need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll
I will
second.
second. Roger will second.
I have a motion made by Magistrate Kodar, second by Magistrate Humphrey. All in favor, raise a hand, say aye.
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 It appears all in favor. We're now adjourned. I appreciate it and see y'all at the next meeting, May 3rd.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Good night.
Thanks.
Night.